Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all three past performance formats. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Hey everyone, Ashley Mailloux and Mike Beer here with the Daily Racing Form. A really big card this Saturday out at Aqueduct. Plenty of stakes action is going to kick off in race number 4, the Grade 2 Carter Handicap here with a distance of 7 furlongs on the main track for 4-year-olds and upward. And Mike, maybe not a big field here as we look at the slate with only 5 entered, but I think all eyes are really going to be on the number 3 Post Time, who has done pretty much nothing wrong so far in his career.
Yeah, he's just run nothing but good races, and listen, feels like they're shipping in here into another really good spot for him. Actually, it's a perfect progression for this horse off of a Grade 3 win. Now they go to the Carter, which used to be a really top race for sprinters, and it just isn't anymore. And he finds a really good spot here.
And he's the most proven at this 7/8 distance with his 4 wins under his belt. And we'll take a look here at the time form pace projections. And a horse that we talk about often, the 4 Super Chow, does appear to be the pace on paper. I do think, though, when you look at this sort of pace setup, I know he has a win at 7/8, but don't you feel like this distance could maybe be his downfall?
Yeah, it could be. Of course, listen, if this pace projector is right, and when you go through the field, kind of feels like it's right. There's not a lot of other pace in this race. I mean, it's a big advantage for Super Chow, and it could certainly help him get this far, even if it's not his best distance. He did win the toboggan over this trip 2 starts back, and he did it when he got absolutely loose on a walking pace.
Yeah, it all comes down to if anyone presses him. I think if he gets pressed, that's probably going to be his downfall, the 7/8 distance. I think he's more of a 6 furlong type, but as you mentioned, if he's loose on the lead, he could be dangerous. So with this compact field, just 2 horses exit the same race, that being the Stymie, and one of them is going to kick off the field here with the number 1 Castle Chaos, who I don't know how you felt about his performance last time out, but I would have expected a lot more than he was able to show.
He was pretty disappointing in there. I feel like you might want to give him the benefit of the doubt, though, for that performance. He shipped up from Gulfstream, and it felt like the right thing for them to do, the right race to run him in, but he caught a super wet track. I mean, that track was an absolute mess, and everybody just sort of stayed towards the outside, way out into the track, and Castle Chaos wound up down on the inside, and he just got really tired through the stretch. I'm putting a line through it. I don't really care about that race. I felt like he was in the best form of his career prior to that.
Yeah, nice second place performance in the Grade 3 Fred Hooper, as you mentioned, down at Gulfstream Park with that 1 turn mile. And he does have experience at the 7/8 distance, has been pretty good to him in the past. But I agree, I think the wet track hindered his performance last time out. Now, next up in the field is the 2 Wittington Park, who will take a look at a performance from him where he was able to win last time out. And I think in terms of what he's able to do here, it was going a mile, second start off the layoff. He's really done nothing wrong. He had a little bit of a taste of stakes competition here.
Yeah, he runs pretty well here. I mean, this horse on the lead, he's getting a little tired here. Anejo, he's on his wrong lead, but he's an underrated horse, and he had a huge advantage. I don't know. This horse just stays really determinedly Wittington Park, and he's going to gun him down at the end. It's obviously the best race he's ever run. He really likes 1-turn races. When you take his form apart and just look at his 1-turn starts, they're all pretty good. So I'm not going to worry about 7 furlongs. I just don't really know what to do with that last race. I guess that one that we just watched makes him a contender. I kind of want to see him do it again.
Yeah, and I think the concern with him is we talked about 1-turn races isn't the issue, but maybe it's his running style. He projects to be pretty far back, I think, in those early stages, and it worked out for him last time. But again, it's going to come down to the pace and what happens in here. Now, we talked about all eyes maybe being on the number 3 Post Time. We'll take a look at his most recent performance, a win on Winter Carnival Day down at Laurel Park, the Grade 3 General George. And he sort of looks like he could be in for trouble here. There's a little bit of traffic unfolding in front of him, Mike, but he ankles out to the clear, and when it's all said and done, he's an easy winner.
Yeah, he did have a brief moment there where I felt like maybe he was going to get skunked. It didn't happen. He got clear. I just love the way he quickens up here at the end of this race, and he just steamrolls this field. I don't know what you have to, if you have anything to add here, Ashley. This horse to me has just been good in all of his races. I think, again, they ship him into a great spot here, and I just felt like he was way the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think he's been well handled. We talked about it. He's going into the next step, a Grade 3 to a Grade 2. He's leaving the Mid-Atlantic, which he has done before, and it was his lone loss. But look at the competition that he faced at Keeneland. We knew the waters were deep. Race Kane was the winner, Dr. Venkman second. So I don't mind him. I think just the way that he's won, once he hits that final gear in the stretch, he can be very dangerous. Now, we've talked about the 4 Super Chow. We'll take a look at that most recent performance, which came in the Tom Fool, got the Grade 3 win back-to-back. This, though, was at the shorter distance, the 6 furlong distance. He's caught a wet track in his last 2, and don't want to make a case against him, but I wonder if that's also helped him in those early stages of these races.
Yeah, it certainly could have. I mean, he clearly likes a wet track. He's doing his typical thing here on the lead where he likes to drift way out through the stretch of this race and just sort of bothers the runner up a little bit. But I don't know. He ran fine in here. He ran fine 2 starts back, but he had the best of it on the lead both times. He'll have the best of it again here. We're going to talk about the horse drawn right to his outside, who I feel like is going to keep enough pressure on Super Chow to make it a little bit tougher for him. I don't want to knock him. I'm just not his biggest fan, and I'm not betting him in here.
Yeah, we're in the same boat there, but I do think there is the fear that he gets loose in here. Now, the 5 Pianante recently joined the Richard Dutrow barn and was third in the stymie, and I thought maybe that was a nice starting point off that long layoff. I don't think he really did anything wrong. He only missed by half a length, and you've talked about it, Mike. He should be closer, maybe can apply some pressure.
This feels like he's drawn outside here. He's got enough speed to keep up close, and if this pace is slow, maybe it's enough of an advantage, for him to sort of level the playing field with the favorite in this race. We'll see. He's obviously pretty good. He ran fine last time in the stymie. He lost as the favorite, but I didn't think he lost anything in defeat there over a mess of a racetrack. Fast dirt, outside, up close to the pace. I think he's pretty dangerous.
And that's the field, the compact field for the Carter. But we're going to look at our top picks here, Mike. And I think we're going to be on the same horse based on our discussions. And no shock here. The number 3 post timing is the 8-5 morning line favorite, but really hard to knock what we've seen so far.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he's a really short price, I guess you got to be a little concerned that there's no pace for him in this race and it could work against him. I'm just not really going to worry about it. I think he's the best horse. I think he's going to get a good enough trip in this race. And I just feel like this is a great spot for him.
We both use Pianante underneath. 352 for Mike, 354 for me. It's the grade 2 Carter this Saturday at Aqueduct. Best of luck.